God, it's a magnificent night tonight. This is the Waves of the Chesapeake podcast. I'm your host, Connor Kelly. This is a BCD production. To my left is Clifford Smoke, a.k.a. my cousin, Kyle Higgs. And behind the camera, Dylan Kelly. So, Kyle, how the hell are you?
Fantastic.
Fan-fucking-tastic. Love to hear it.
Yeah, I'm great. How are you?
Well, I could be better, you know?
Hey, we could always be better.
See, I like to look at life like, glasses half full, not half empty, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah. Exactly. People think too much about the negatives. But here's the thing. You can't have your good without your bad.
This is very true.
Yin and yang.
So, Kyle, let's get into it a little bit. Tell the audience, tell everyone else out there, how can we find your music?
Right now it's unfortunate only on SoundCloud and YouTube. I mean, I'm gonna hopefully with this next project be able to put it on Apple Music and Spotify and other streaming apps and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean YouTube, everyone uses YouTube, so just go on youtube.com/Clifford Smoke. It's the new name. It's the new thing.
Oh yeah. Do you have any new recent music that just came out?
Only one song under the new name, new genre type thing. But there is all the stuff on SoundCloud. There's so many songs on SoundCloud, like with my with DVLSA that I worked with. Everything on there is good.
DVLSA?
Yes.
Right. Say that 10 times, everyone. DVLSA.
Yes.
So, how was that? And how was working with everyone involved? And I mean, please feel free to give out shout outs.
Yeah, I mean, no, DVLSA, shout out Andrew Walden, shout out Cameron, shout out Brandon, Black and Mild Child, Thomas Devlin, Lowen Brothers, like everyone. DVLSA started out as just a bunch of friends making music for fun. We were living in Annapolis at the time. Brandon was from Pittsburgh actually, and I met him through Walden. Me and Walden actually originally started making music. We went to high school together, and after high school he went to the University of South Carolina, and we just talked about music like over the phone and stuff, emails and stuff, and we started sending each other music back and forth, and made a couple projects back in the day that are on SoundCloud, Collabo. I'm trying to think. Other DVLSA, like you can go on the SoundCloud.com/DVLSA has a lot of old stuff too. But yeah, back in those days, me and Walden were just sending stuff back and forth. Didn't even like hang out and record. It was all over the phone, and that's what makes it so cool now. Looking back on it, it's like wow, we did all that stuff and didn't even like hang out.
That is actually. I'm sorry to interrupt. That's really interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's funny how people meet and just collaborate. You know.
It was cool. The first thing we made was called Collabo because it was like how we were like literally collaborating our two things, and we each actually went at that original album. Each make 3 songs and leave a verse open for the other person. But yeah, so that's how that started. Then later on, Brandon moved from Pittsburgh to Annapolis and became friends with Walden, and that's how I met Walden. We made the song Rust, which you can find on SoundCloud also. Rust is the very first song we made that's produced by Walden and Cam, and has me, Walden, and Brandon, Black and Mild Child, on it. And that's before I even met Brandon. Once again, like, didn't know each other. And the cool thing about that song is when I heard his verse, I worked off his verse. It wasn't like I didn't have something written. Like, he sent me that, and I was like, I'm literally going to take the last 4 words you used, and that's how I'm going to start my verse. Right. And so, like, when he heard it back, he's like, oh my God, I don't even know this kid, and that sounds fucking awesome. So that's how that shit started. Then I moved out of my mom's house and then moved kind of closer to Brandon and all them, and that's when we started hanging out and actually like making music, recording together. And that's when we started doing open mics around Annapolis, downtown Annapolis, Metropolitan, places like that, and just like get our name out there. And honestly, another shout out, Justice, the Genius Child. He is a huge promoter though in the downtown Annapolis open mic scene, and he really inspired us and got us motivated to start getting more involved in Annapolis and like not just putting stuff on SoundCloud on the internet, like actually trying to get people around here to listen to it. So that's like definitely he's definitely one of the big inspirations and like motivators for
And
us.
I mean that's amazing because everyone needs kind of someone to push them and to influence them and say, "You're good at this. You should continue doing this." And my next kind of a segue into my next question: how is the local scene, like the local rap scene in Annapolis?
No, I'm glad that you asked that because that's what I wanted to get into. Is when we started doing those open mic shows, he told us like the message that he tried to get across to everyone that was there was like, we are all we got. Like we're all here right now. We're all listening to each other. Like, and especially like in Annapolis, I want to say like even if it's over the internet, you know what I'm saying? If you see someone from Annapolis, click that shit. I mean, even if you don't like it, you don't like it, but you gave it a shot. You know what I'm saying? You gave that guy a shot, gave that girl a shot. That's the one thing Justice definitely got to try to get the point across is like, we all have to have each other's backs. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta, even if you don't like the person's music, you see their hustle. You have to respect them being, you know what I'm saying, having that confidence. You have to respect. I've always said that like with freestyle rap, like I'm saying, even if you suck at freestyle, just freestyle. Like, and if it sucks, it sucks. But if you get everybody happy around you, that's all that matters. Like that's music. Like just try to make people happy, and try to relate and get a vibe going.
I mean, that's huge. And you said you after DVLSA, excuse me. You said you kind of changed your sound, genre, name around. How is that? How is that kind of changing all that, like the aspects,
the transition and everything?
Yeah.
The
transition.
So basically, DVLSA like that. It was awesome. Great experience and everything. Did the first live show. We got paid for that. The first time I ever got money for doing what I liked for 30 minutes. Like it was fun as hell. And I was like, oh shit, I got to check. Cash actually. But besides the fact. No, yeah. Damn, I forgot what we were talking about.
Your transition from DVLSA to
gotcha.
Clifford Smoke.
So basically the transition that happened was because there was kind of, I want to say, a falling out of everybody, but we all kind of went our separate ways with DVLSA. Brandon moved back to Pittsburgh because of money, like not really, just like job opportunity. And we all kind of went our separate ways. There was a name change for that group actually. Like Walden and Cam kept it going. They changed the name to Vanguard, which you can also find on SoundCloud and YouTube. Vanguard. VANGARD. I want to make that clear. It's not guard GA.
Gotcha. And I guess I'm sorry to interrupt, but I gotta say, it sounds like it was mutual. It sounds like you have no bad.
No, we still also hang out. So I'll still make music and everything. We just all had to go separate ways, honestly. And it's sad to say, all still love each other. We're all still cool. And who knows? It's not the end. I mean, it's just for the time being.
Maybe just the beginning.
Yeah, and well, that really was. So at that time, I really just like when we stopped that, I just really kind of stopped making music. I had a whole project, Fishbowl, that I still have, never put out because I liked it so much, and I you know what I'm saying, it was that good of a product. I don't want to just throw it out there.
You want to make it perfect.
I do want to have. Honestly, I would love to record it in an actual studio and stuff. Most of the stuff I do is at home on the Mac computer, donated by Dylan Kelly's father, Joe Kelly, Joe Rock. But yeah, so I do want to like actually make that project good. Yeah, but no, the transition really happened with the falling out, and
we say falling out. It sounds like it was in bad taste.
I don't know what other word to use. That's honestly the only time.
Just kind of like a split. Just kind of like everyone went their own direction.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying. But it was because of that really, like, I was by myself. I was also going through like a breakup. It wasn't a bad breakup. Also, it's kind of like the same thing with what was going on with DVLSA. It wasn't bad, but it was just like, damn, I'm back to being alone. Like that it was like, shit, I gotta figure shit out. But with that, I got inspiration from friends around me, got inspiration from the actual shit that was happening to me, and made this new project that I'm just gonna call Clifford, and it's gonna that's the next one I'm working on, and that's what you're talking about. The transition is really because I've always wanted to move away from hip hop. Honestly, I love hip hop and everything. I love rapping, but I do love having some soul and some singing in it.
So more like R&B kind of.
It's kind of I would love to call it alternative hip hop. because I still,
Alternative hip hop.
you know what I'm saying, that is a genre that's not really like said, but that's really what I consider. There's a lot of artists that are like that. I consider Post Malone alternative hip hop.
That's a good point because he's not hip hop, rap, R&B. Like he's kind of
on the Grammys that are coming up. They're not allowing him to be in the hip hop section. They're putting him in the pop because apparently there was not enough rap verses on his album. But yeah, isn't that crazy?
Huh.
That's wild. But so I think it's putting yourself in a genre is definitely putting yourself in a box. And a lot of these new artists we have, I can name a bunch. You know what I'm saying, you can't. I listen to like their albums fully through. You can't say that whole album is hip hop because there's some stuff that's screamo on there. There's some stuff that's just rock and roll. There's some stuff that's country on there. You know what I'm saying? That artists feel, you know what I'm saying, in this day and age feel free to do whatever they want, especially if they already have a name.
All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again. And I want to take a little break now. And I want to play a song by Kyle Higgs, or Clifford Smoke, I should say. It's called Heaven. Let's be honest. We can all use a little heaven and a little God in our lives. But
a little peace.
A little peace. A little peace of mind.
A little peace. Here's a peace of mind for your peace of mind.
Everyone, please enjoy Heaven.
You have one unheard message. You know who it is. I don't. I miss you. And I know you said when we were fighting that I act like I want you, but I do. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. And I push you.
If we fall, that the walls we built so high will falling so. And if we fall, what's the point of living lives if we feel so? Just me so.
Harmonica is dope to go to sleep.
And just going back into music, and I guess this whole podcast is about music. But let's talk. You mentioned something earlier to me off air about the decline of SoundCloud. You want to get more into that?
Honestly, yeah. So like, the reason I say like I'm not so happy like just having my stuff on SoundCloud and YouTube, is because I mean YouTube is great. It will always probably be a great way to get your name and music out there, but SoundCloud honestly has just been going downhill. Like it's just not the greatest platform.
Why so?
We got what's it called? Like Spotify now you can do basically everything that you can do on SoundCloud on Spotify, and you get all the you know what I'm saying, all of the artists that you listen to. SoundCloud is like constant advertisements and it charge you for like it's called SoundCloud Go or something, and it's just the reason SoundCloud was so great was because it was free and it was all just independent artists, which it isn't anymore. And so like I think that it's just falling apart. It literally just it looks like it's just like breaking to pieces.
Went more corporate, you know. I mean, It seems like Spotify is SoundCloud, like Facebook was to MySpace, or is about to be.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. But no, yeah. So I mean, definitely a new artist, anyone like who's trying to get music out there, don't rely on SoundCloud. SoundCloud was great at the time, like of course, but times change and people evolve. Like concept albums, just beautiful. I think that's should be your goal in life, to make a concept album. Swimming, we'll go back on Mac Miller. That it's a beautiful like for a hip hop artist to make a concept album. Swimming, it all has to do with battling mental health and stuff, and which makes it even greater because of what happened, the tragedy. And he's a fucking legend. I'm gonna say that right now. 26 years old. He has done so much more than a lot of artists can say. 26 years old. He's put
18.
out enough. I don't want to get all like corny, but I've done the math. That man put out enough songs to like I can start his first album, his first mixtape, and listen to that for a month. He has enough music to last me a year to restart. That's great to say. Yeah, Mac Miller up in heaven. If he's looking down, you know what I'm saying? He's probably so happy. Like, yo, I made enough music for this man to listen to my music all year round, 365 days a year, and not have to replay shit. That's crazy.
And what artist can say that they started and were huge at the age of 18 that wasn't a pop star?
Yeah, you're right. But that's once again with mental health. It's crazy. Like the shit you see, especially if you're famous and you're an artist, the shit you see and the shit you hear, people talking about you and all that stuff, and you're just trying to make music. You're literally just trying to have fun, just trying to do what you're best at.
And isn't that terrible? He passed away thinking his ex-girlfriend was just about to get married.
All right, no, we shouldn't get into that. We shouldn't. No, I mean, here's my honest opinion is, of course, he was thinking about her when all that happened.
No,
but
not even that.
I don't. It was not her fault. I don't blame her at all. But
it wasn't her fault at all. But just thinking about someone you used to date and is about to get married, and that, of course, it collapsed. And I don't know if he knew it was going to collapse or not. But just thinking, someone. Next girlfriend is about to get married and you pass away, that just thinking about that, like, god damn it, you know, they're gonna be
course, I mean, everyone, a lot of
it wasn't her fault at all. I mean,
I
mean that's the thing. No, it wasn't her fault at all. I mean, he's his own man. You make your own choices. You sleep in your own bed at the end of the night.
Yeah,
and what you do. But I'm just saying that would be if like she had nothing to do with it. But at the same time, I knew. Like, I wish she was still around today to realize, you know, like, don't worry. Like, you know, she just rebounded.
And I've had this conversation a million times with all my friends. And they're probably, when they're watching this right now, they're going to laugh because we have talked about this forever. And honestly, what we've all agreed on in the end, it's still not done. I'm saying the official autopsy is still not out. So, like, we don't know what happened. He could have been poisoned, straight up. He could have something, you know what I'm saying? I think, in my opinion, I do think he was sad. Listening to the last album when it first came out, I really saw it as when I went at it. I thought when I was first listening to it, I was like, all right, this is gonna be him breaking up with Ariana Grande. He's either gonna be really sad or he's gonna be back. You know what I'm saying? And it really was. If you listen to it, it really was him saying, "Yo, I'm sad as fuck, but fuck it, life's good." You know what I'm saying? Life goes on.
I mean, and at the end of the day,
that's what sucked. Right. Like with this whole tragedy happening, it was like, dude, you listen to your album. It was like you kept saying like you were good. You kept telling me like don't let the bad shit get to you because bad shit happens and good shit will happen too. And then the fact that happened, it's like, yo, I have so many questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to come to an end. Golf clap. And the director is not clapping. Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, Kyle, thanks so much, Clifford Schmoke. Thanks so much for coming.
This has been a great experience.
It is, and I do love him. You know, he is my cousin. So again, I had to throw that out there. I'm not sure if I mentioned it yet. Yeah, we're a family. Yeah. And before we go, tell us one more time where we can find you and if you're playing live next.
So yeah, right now, like I said, youtube.com/Clifford Smoke, soundcloud.com/Clifford Smoke. Also check out soundcloud.com/DVLSA Productions, soundcloud.com/Vanguard. Yeah, all this stuff. Go on, just go on SoundCloud, type in Vanguard, type in DVLSA, type in Clifford Smoke. There's so much music. If you're really that interested, there's so much music to dive into. Honestly, like I'm not trying to say this. I have over 100+ songs on SoundCloud.
I actually have here 200 plus.
200+ songs recorded. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are still on SoundCloud, but they're on private because they've been up for so long. I took them down. They're just for myself. But no, I do have 200+ songs recorded. That's what's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just I've only lived 23 years, and I started. When did we start, DK? When did I start recording?
7th grade.
7th, 8th grade. And just to have all this, and it's kind of sad that no one knows about it. But it's really cool that I have all this to say I did. You know what I mean?
All right.
Accomplished.
Then everyone, listen up. Let's promote the hell out of this. All right, come on, everyone.
No, next tape, Clifford. It's just gonna be called straight Clifford. It's gonna be on SoundCloud, YouTube, Apple Music, hopefully Spotify, Tidal, all that stuff. Check it out. Should be out by the end of this month, if not the end of next month. And I'll have a video for it. It's 7 songs. Yeah, check it out. It's really good. I worked on it hard.
Well, thank you, and I'm looking forward to hearing it, and I'll definitely repost it as much as I can, get the word out. And for everyone else out there, thank you for listening. This has been the Waves of the Chesapeake. Behind the camera is the director / producer Dylan Kelly. To the left of me is our guest Kyle Clifford Higgs, and me. Well, I'm your host, Connor Kelly, and thank you again for listening to the Waves of the Chesapeake.